Hey guys, what's going on? It's your big dreamer and doer, G Dinero, coming to you today with another breaking down the trade. This time it's my own IBIT 6/16/2028 or June 16th, 2028, $50 synthetic long. And happy Black Friday to you guys. Hopefully you're out there not just blowing all your money, but figuring out a way to make more on a day like today, right? But first, remember, none of this is tax, legal, financial, investment advice. It's your buddy G Dinero, helping you increase your financial literacy to help put you and your family on that path to financial freedom. And before we dig in, please remember the community is live. Holy smokes, guys. The discussions that are already taking place in there, the learnings that are already taking place in there, the participation is mind-blowing, right? I literally, it's beyond my wildest imaginations, quite frankly. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I launched a community. I did it about 3 weeks ago now. Today, I think it was exactly 3 weeks ago. My best friend, John C., and I launched this together. It's been in the works for months now. And it's a place to come in and learn, right? It's not just about trade alerts. It's not just about copy trading. This is the place that you're going to go in and learn how to buy and sell stocks, crypto, options, right? Perp trade, all those different things and more. Really how to control your emotions, how to portfolio size, how to build a portfolio, how to think about goal setting, how to think about how much is enough on the profit taking side of things, how to take profits, quite honestly, because so many people don't, right? All that and more is available in the community. You can go to gdinerocoaching.com/founders only. You can read over there all the different things you get. Please remember that right now you get even better than 25% off on all courses because all the courses are on sale, 50% off for Black Friday. All right, so let's dig into the trade alert. This is what it looks like in the community when I build a trade alert. I don't just put out there like something, kind of tiny. I build the entire thing in right here for you. In fact, I need to go back in and put a picture of the chart at the time. I did build that for this video, but not in the actual trade alert in the community. But I think everybody in there kind of knows what the chart looks like right now. But that gives you an idea. I showed you the actual trade I made. I showed you what it looks like on Optionstrat. I showed you what it looks like on the G Tracker. If you don't know what the G Tracker is, that's an app that John and I created to be able to track your options trades in real time. It uses real-time API data to tell you exactly whether you're up or down, what the extrinsic value is, if it's a covered call or a cash secured put, etc., etc. So you see all my rationale in there as well. So this is what it looked like. The chart to me is screaming that Bitcoin has found a bottom. It might not be the bottom. You heard me talk about that in the video that I made about somebody else's trade alert recently, right? And that one was done on MicroStrategy. I chose to do this one on IBIT because I'm heavy MicroStrategy right now, not as heavy in IBIT in this particular account, right? So I'm betting on the future price of Bitcoin going up higher than it is right now. And just so you know, you can take the Bitcoin price, divide it by 1,750, and that'll give you what the IBIT share price should be. It does fluctuate a little bit because Bitcoin trades over the weekend and on holidays, whereas the market does not. But just realize the peg is somewhere around 1,750. So my thought process is we'll at least get back up to the all-time high, which was $71.82 with IBIT, which corresponded with a $126,000 Bitcoin price. Everything on this chart right now is screaming oversold, meaning it needs to be bought. There's all kinds of buying signals on here. Green mean reversion dots close to 2 standard deviations below the norm. RSI values below 30. This is on a 4-hour extended trading hour chart. MACD values turning from negative and starting to turn back up positive and crossing over the moving average. Well, it's moving average convergence divergence, but over the signal line, I should say, right? The average, the actual signal is crossing over the average. So all of those things are screaming buy. To me, it looks like we're sitting on a block of volume, right? They're at about 44, 45. We bounced off of that and we're on our way back up again. How far do I think we could drop? Down there to the 39, 40 range, which corresponds with a $70,000 Bitcoin, right? If that's as far as I think it could drop. So the downside risk is I'm going into a $50 synthetic long thinking it may drop at most $10, but truly believing in my heart that over the next 2.3, 4, 5 years, whatever, basically 2.5 years, I believe that Bitcoin will be way higher than $125,000. That's why I went into this. And to me, it seemed like a no-brainer trade. So what's the trade? I sold the June 16th, 2028 IBIT $50 put for $14.05, collecting $1,405 a contract. The $5,000 is there to collateralize the put. It's not cash. It's margin that I have in this account. So I am collateralizing the put with $5,000. That's because of the assignment risk. The other party could choose to assign me their shares at $50 a share on or before June 16th, 2028. I need to come up with $5,000 somehow. I either have cash in there or I have margin. In this case, I have the margin securing it, and I would gladly buy more IBIT at $50. I was going to do it anyway, but instead chose to use leverage and did a synthetic long today. I also bought the June 16th, 2028 IBIT $50 call for $21.45, or I spent $2,145 per contract, making the net debit, the difference between what I collected from the put and what I sold what I purchased the call for, is $7.40 or $740 per synthetic long. What's the break even on this trade? Simple. The break even is $57.40 by June 16th, 2028. You calculate that by taking your call strike and adding in what did you spend on this trade, in this case $7.40, making it $57.40. So I have to see IBIT higher than $57.40 on or before June 16th, 2028, which is 2.5 years away. 2.5 years away. And that's like saying that Bitcoin's going to get back up over, I think that corresponds with around 95, 96, maybe $100,000. Let's say between 95 and $100,000. I didn't even calculate it because I'm not worried. I know we're going to be above that in 2.5 years from now. Maybe not 2.5 weeks, maybe not in 2.5 months, but in 2.5 years, you better believe it. What's the biggest risk? That IBIT goes to zero, meaning Bitcoin goes to zero and IBIT goes to zero. You're assigned all those shares at $50 a share, all 100 of them. So that's $5,000 you got to cough up. They're worthless. And so your overall loss would be $5,740. That's the most you could possibly lose with this trade. The likelihood of that, pretty much 0.00001 in my opinion, right? I don't think Bitcoin's going down to zero between now and the next 2.5 years, or else I wouldn't have taken the trade. What's more likely to happen? Maybe IBIT stays in a bear market. Maybe Bitcoin stays in a bear market for the next 2.5 years. Again, I don't believe this, but people have gotten on me before saying, well, you don't go over what all the risks are. Here's the risk. Bitcoin stays exactly where it is. Thus, IBIT goes down to 70, Bitcoin goes down to 70,000 and stays there for 2.5 years. IBIT then goes down to $70,000 and stays there. It goes down to 40,000. Bitcoin goes down to 70,000. IBIT goes down to $40 a share. I'm trying to do the conversion in my head like that. And the calls expire worthless. You're assigned the shares at $50 a share. So you spend $5,000 and your shares are only worth $4,000. And you're out the $740 that you started with. So theoretically, on paper, at that exact moment, if IBIT is $40 a share, that's what it's going for on the open market, and you get assigned at 50, plus the $740 you spent up front, $7.40 up front, you're down $1,740 on paper. On paper, that's it, on paper. Still got your shares, and when Bitcoin does rally, IBIT will rally and you're back in action again, right? Guys, make sure you go to Optionstrat. I think they're running other specials right now too. If you sign up and you get their paid plan, which gives you real-time data, it gives you all the Greeks, it gives you the probabilities of profit and all those things. That's available at optionstrat.com/GDinero. You see the little coupon code up there, and you'll save yourself, I believe it's 25% off at that rate. So you've got the trade that I did broken down here on Optionstrat. Just trying to give you a bunch of different ways to look at it. This is a 171% increase. If Bitcoin goes to $250,000 in the next 2.5 years, that's my price target. That's what I think it will do in the next 2.5 years. There's just a lot of reasons that I believe it's going over 200 grand, and I think we'll see 250. I think we'll see higher, but I'm saying we only go up in the next bull market by 171%. It's been going up thousands of percent in some of the bull markets. It's been going up 500-600% recently from the last bear to the current, all-time high that we're at. And I'm saying it doesn't do that. It keeps getting smaller and smaller, and we only a little bit more than double from where we are right now. Like go up 1.5x from 1.5 times from where we are now. So we go from $90,000 to $250,000, and we do that over the next 2.5 years. If that's the case, the puts are going to expire worthless. The calls are going to be worth $92 a piece. You get that by taking the $142 share price of IBIT out on the open market minus your $50 strike price is $92, or $9,200 is what each of these contracts are worth. That's an $8,460 profit, so you have to deduct the $740 that you spent up front, the $740 that you spent up front, and you turn $740 into $9,200, or a 12.4x return in just 2.5 years. Guys, if you want to see more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe to the video, right? Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you're commenting below. Let me know, what'd you like best? What would you like to see more of? More importantly, what you're going to need to do if you want to see more like this is join the community. Honestly, join the community. If none of this options garble made any sense to you, book the course, Understanding Options. This isn't a plea because I want to sell more courses. It's a plea because people want to learn how to do this, and they say they're confused as I do a breaking down the trade, and I can't break it down any simpler. You just need to understand how to trade options if this is something you're interested in which case you're going to want to book the Understanding Options course, and you're going to want to join the community because I'm not going to share all of my trade alerts out in the open. This one I'm sharing just to give everybody a clear-cut picture of what they're going to get in my community. Note, I said the trade alerts aren't the only great thing in the community. In fact, I won't be doing tons of them. I only take the best of the best trades. But what I will teach you how to do is how to derive an income, how to grow your portfolio. Whatever it is that you're looking to do, we teach all of the different concepts there in the community. And that's why it's so crucial that you guys join, right? You can do either of those over at gdinerocoaching.com. You'll see that we have 50% off all the courses. There's the coupon codes TV50 off or options 50 off, right? That'll get you 50% off through the end of the month. We're running the Black Friday sale through the end of the month. December 1st, which I think is Monday, boom, sale's done, right? Sale is done. Same thing with that founders link, right? The gdinerocoaching.com/founders only, I think was the actual link. Go back and look at the very beginning of this video. That founders link to join the community, you're going to want to do that because you're going to want to save right now the $50 off per month, right? The $50 off per month. It makes the community only $100 a month. And I use the word only because there's people in there telling me they're getting thousands of dollars worth of value in the first week that they're in the community. So I know the value of it. That's why it was priced where it was priced. Guys, I'm G Dinero. I'm here to help you increase your financial literacy, to help put you and your family on that path to financial freedom. Thanks for tuning in. I'm super stoked. I'm super grateful. This is the best Thanksgiving ever because I'm so thankful for all the blessings that God has provided my family, my friends, and myself especially, and each of you. Super, super thankful for you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Take care. See ya.
Yo, G Dinero in the house. Charge up, let's go. G Dinero, coach of the trade, stacking that green. Tea at Tuesday, money Monday, living the dream. Options popping, Bitcoin rocking, Tesla on fleet. Join the community.